here today with Megan Moran, Accounts Payable and Purchasing Supervisor from the Research Foundation in Central Office. Megan is here today to talk about the Supplier File and some of the significant changes between 11i and R12, which the Research Foundation transitioned to in May of 2014. Good morning, Megan.
Good morning, Linda.
So Megan, tell us a little about the Supplier File and what it is.
The Supplier File is the Research Foundation's data repository. It includes name and addresses for individuals, businesses, organizations, etc. that have been paid using the Oracle's accounts payable system.
I know there were some significant changes between version 11i and release R12. Can you explain some of those bigger changes that happened to the system?
So some of the changes from 11i to R12 include the new user interface for the supplier's entry and maintenance. When a user opens the supplier entry form, Oracle will automatically redirect the page to a new web-based form. Some changes include how campuses will query and create new suppliers. Another big change in R12 with the supplier file is how RF employees are set up. For an RF employee, the home site is actually maintained in the HR module. AP and purchasing will no longer be able to update the address in the supplier file. It's very important that the campuses work closely with their HR department if they see that there is a need to update the address. Campuses can also go in and query the address of the employee within Org Campus Supplier Update via the menu path Search Employee Address. There's also a provisional site, so if campuses wanted to have a check sent to a campus department rather than their home, the HR department can actually set up what is called a provisional site, which is an alternative site to their home. Another big change includes address versus site. In R12, we now have a new layer called address. This is not secure, meaning that all campuses can actually view all addresses. The site does remain secure. So I just wanted to reiterate to campuses that if they have to update or change anything with an address, it's going to actually update all the sites contained within that address.
So it sounds like in the supplier file there's a lot of connections to other modules in Oracle, so it's pretty important to keep that up to date, correct?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, again, in R12, the biggest change really was with employees. The two offices really have to work closely together because employees' addresses are maintained in HR. The AP purchasing cannot update in the supplier file module.
And that actually feeds into checks being generated with the correct addresses and
correct
and things like that as well.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. So then we're not in silos.
Correct. Yep.
So that's great. They've been using the system for a few months now. So where are you seeing that people are having issues?
The most difficulty campuses are having is with address versus site. I just want to reiterate that address is not secure, meaning that all campuses can see everyone's address. The site does remain secure. With that said, if somebody had an address out there, another campus can actually go in, update the address, and consequently all the sites included in that address will be updated. So it's just something to keep in mind. We all share address.
I know we put together a lot of different training materials and all, so where should people go if they need assistance as they're using the supplier file?
Campuses can view the Supplier File Reference Guide as well as the Supplier File Naming Standards located on the external portal under Procedures. In addition, we have many R12 training sessions that were recorded, and that can be located on the RF WebEx site.
And we do also have user help, correct?
Yes, and there's also a process help that includes creating and querying and setting up suppliers.
Okay, and the process help is on the internal RF site.
Correct, that's correct.
There's a lot of resources that are documented.
Mm-hmm.
If someone does need a live person's help, who should they contact and how? You have a group mailbox?
Yes, we have a Supplier File Requests mailbox. If anyone has any questions, they can email that box directly. It's also where our merges are sent.
So Megan, this was some great information today, and I thank you for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
All right, everyone else, thank you for joining us, and we hope to hear from you soon.